Hi everyone, doing another interview. This time with first off, that's my first question. How do I pronounce your name? Is it Ariadna or is it Ari for short? I guess.
Yeah, you can use any of them. Ariadne, yeah, you pronounce
Okay,
it
awesome.
correctly.
I know your Suno profile is one thing, but you also have the Instagram on there and all that other stuff. So speaking of which, congratulations on your graduation. All that kind of
Thank
stuff
you.
looked very awesome. Which was leads me to my first question, which is essentially how it seems totally unrelated to all the Suno stuff. And it's not like you're going to music school or something. How did you get into Suno slash find AI music?
So the first time happened when I was still in Russia. I think like 2 years ago, we
Oh,
were organizing the event for the student club, like the community, and we wanted to create a song to congratulate our professors. And like we realized we don't have any people who could write a song or sing it professionally. And then we found Suno. I would say like at that time it was really not as good as right
yeah,
now.
that was a lot. 2 years ago, it's a completely different ball game. That's wild.
Could easily like say that it's AI probably, or it's like very, very synthetic
Right.
and like not a real person. Right now, I cannot see and hear the difference.
Are you on a like students thing here, or like that's wild? I haven't interviewed anyone from basically Europe or Russia yet. I
Yeah.
how long ago did you like come to America? And are you staying or are you going back? Uh,
I came to the United States like a year ago for my studies. I
awesome.
was studying in Boston University for a year, my master's degree in management. So I'm not planning to go back right now. I still have the OPT and I can work here for 3 years, which
Nice.
is really great. That's an
Yeah.
awesome experience. Yes.
All right, well, that's excellent. Well, that's good news. I know it's like, I mean, I'm relatively close to there, so we hear news all the time. It just seems kind of rough. I'm glad that you're here. I'm also hope everyone's okay in your family and community and everything. So that brings me around to, okay, now I have to ask. So 2 years ago, you were using this in Russia with like basically to make songs for practical reasons, right? Like, how did you get from there to like first off, that's earlier than even I was on this platform. So I'm actually really curious. Like, were you involved in AI, or how did you get into it so early on? I guess.
So this was an accident.
Okay.
And after that, I didn't use Suno for
Okay.
2 years
Oh wow.
because, yeah, like it wasn't that good
No.
as it is right now. And there was a moment when I started using Suno again. When I came here for my studies, we had one professor who's working at Suno
Oh wow.
currently. And I was like, well, wait, is this that Suno? Like the Suno that I used to create the song? And I was like, no, 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 wait, let me check again what's going on with Suno. And at that time, when I joined Suno again, there was a version 3.5, and I think like it was so much better
Yeah.
than it was before when I tried Suno for the first time.
Yeah. You must
I
have
was
been
like,
on
what?
version one, which is maybe two, which was yeah. I started using it on version two, and it's you could clearly tell it's AI. It was still better than anything anyone could do. Like you said, if you need to make a song for someone, right, you couldn't do it before unless you had someone who knew how to play music. So that was alone of it. But now, yeah, like version 3.5 and now 4.5. With 4.5, sometimes you really just can't even tell that it's AI. So
Exactly. 4.5 is just amazing. I love it so much, and sometimes I cannot even tell the difference between like the real song with the real human voice and the AI.
yeah,
That's really cool. Yeah, so I started using Suno. After that, I just created maybe like a couple of songs, and then with the fourth version, like it completely changed my perception of AI music. So I started using it more and more and more. And 4.5, oh my God,
yeah.
it just blew up my mind. It's so good.
It's a huge change. I agree. It was a lot bigger than I thought. I was surprised because they were. I knew that they were making a new model. There were some people who were talking about it for some time, and they weren't even sure if they were going to call it version 5 or version 4.5. So it's interesting that they chose 4.5 because it tells me it's going to continue to maybe make an even bigger leap at some point. So it's pretty wild. But yeah, I came across your stuff because they put you on the kind of editorial playlist for 4.5, and two things happened. Number one is I have a friend in Boston who came across and was like, "Oh my God, that's like right up the street from me." So I was like, "Oh, this is a real human being."
Oh,
I should talk to this because it's very hard, surprisingly, to find, people on here for whatever reason. All other socials, right? Everyone's like a person for the most part. And then you go to Suno right now, at least for some reason, and most people are like cats or like, not them, not essentially just like an avatar, like anonymous. So people don't really want to, but I mean, I suppose it depends on what type of music people are doing. So your stuff stood out
Right.
for me because you're like yourself. You're like an actual person. And on top of that, so my thing is I like to learn about the stories of different people and kind of like, I guess, humanize the component of AI. And which leads me to another question. I'm sure that you've encountered this at different points in time, and I'm curious your perspective on it. Like AI as a tool to make art, is that like how do you feel about that? Like, do you consider yourself an artist or an art person? Do you think there's any issues with it? Like, what's your perspective?
I think like the best thing about AI is that if you're not able to write a song completely by yourself just because you cannot or you don't have enough like skills and experience, I think it can really help you to create something unique and really valuable. The thing that you can really enjoy, that's the most important part of it. So I see AI as a very good tool that can help you create music that you really want to listen to, maybe like every day, maybe like 24/7 or
Right.
just it doesn't matter.
Do
Yeah.
you find yourself
So I
doing
would
that? Listening to like your songs on repeat, essentially?
sometimes like
That's
not all
definitely
the time. But
that's a
yeah,
common
sometimes.
experience. But it's interesting. It seems like everyone gets into that. It's very cool.
Right.
Yeah. So you're saying essentially it's a good tool for sort of, I guess, practically speaking, it's entertaining as heck. Um, do you use it? Do you use Suno frequently or other AI tools, or are you just into Suno at the moment?
I'm just into Suna at the moment. I don't use any other tools. I don't use other platforms. I really love Suno because it's pretty easy to navigate and it's very intuitive and
Sure.
it's like a very, very cool platform in terms of how many people use it. So
Yeah, it's big.
maybe there are other places where you can create your songs, you can edit them, you can use AI as well, but it's not like you don't feel the community part of it. You don't feel like it's a real cool platform where you can connect with other people and you can listen to their songs. So I think like it's a very big part of why I chose Suno over other platforms.
Cool. So basically the community aspect and connecting with others. They added in the commenting feature, which I think was a big part of that, and also how people were able, like, there's no way I would have been able to find you, for example, if it wasn't for the ability
Hey.
to comment on stuff. So that's, I totally get that, and I think that's a very, very good perspective. I guess, so the other thing I wanted to ask is, so before this, did you have any relationship with art or music, or is it literally just like you're basically a businesswoman and this is just something that you came across? Or going
My
to be
God.
a businesswoman once you finish your studies, I hope.
Yeah, sure. So I had so much experience with art, and I will explain later why it's so valuable for me to use like such platforms as Suno. I played piano for several years. I started, I guess, when I was 15, and I played for so long, but it just requires so much dedication and your time. And at that time, like I studied my bachelor's degree, I didn't have like enough resources and enough time to continue my study sessions. So I chose my like education over art.
Yeah.
I cannot say that I regret it. It was amazing period of my time, but I would say that I really missed it so much. And there
Yeah.
is a song, Give Me Back My Piano. Um, yeah, it's mainly about my past experience. I love music so much. When I was 18, I recorded my first song, the cover. It's in Russian, and
Oh,
I feel so
cool.
sad that I did not upload it to Suno because like if you use your own like
Vocals.
voice
Yeah.
or music you cannot make it
They
public,
might change
so
that at some point. There's a rumor that they'll allow some people. So hopefully
real.
you'll get to upload that one day. That would be very cool to see that sort of stuff
Yeah.
progress. So yeah, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Also, I just wanted to say that I have some past experience with art, and I really enjoyed the time when I was creating music, when I was playing music, or even recording just the cover. I loved it so much, and I kind of miss it here. So, since I have some free time and it doesn't require for me to dedicate myself like 24/7 playing on the instrument or recording something or learning new stuff, I
Right.
really enjoy Suno, and this is one of the main reasons.
Okay, so what I'm getting from here is, so aside from the fact you actually have a pretty decent art background in terms of the music stuff, but like essentially for you, Suno is like it's like a creative outlet, more or less. Like it lets you get that part of you, the activity that it deserves, but like you don't really have time. And this is a thing with me as well. I think a lot of people, I don't have time to sit there and continue to, because you don't just have to, when you have an instrument, right, you have to also maintain your skill. Like when I was playing guitar, the calluses literally go away on your fingers if you don't play for a period of time. And like if you're working all the time, you have, life responsibilities, it can be a challenge. Suno, it takes you like, 10 minutes you could have a song ready. And so it's a little bit, also you can do it while you're like doing other things. I can't play piano or keyboard while I'm like cooking a meal. Um,
Yeah,
so I'm curious,
that's,
do you use Suno on mobile or are you on like a desktop most of the time? This is interesting. Never
never.
mobile.
Only
I think I'm like the
never
only
more.
person on mobile. Like I'll complain about bugs and stuff on mobile, and everyone looks at me like I'm crazy because I guess no one's making stuff on mobile. Okay, so essentially, this is cool because I think first off, there are on the platform itself. I would say like there's like a 50-50 split between people who are just like kind of casual or well, people who are active, right? You got casual users who like just kind of make some stuff for buddies and then they kind of move on, and then you have like the artsy fartsy whatever type, or just like very high whatever communities. And you're an interesting story because you kind of fit in the middle between those two, where you have like the art component, but you're not trying to make Suno into like I don't know, you're not publishing your stuff on Spotify, presumably, or at least at this stage. But but you do have a background, and so and your stuff is good. Like you have entertaining stuff. I wouldn't, have interviewed you if your stuff was well. I mean, I guess I'll interview people regardless. But in your, most of the time, I try to put people on who have good music to listen to, and yeah. So this 4.5 is certainly a huge like boon in terms of like everyone's music on there right now is like pretty much all good. It's very hard to find stuff that's not good, but in terms of your stuff, I liked like what you were just talking about. You put some of your own experiences into the songs, and you can tell that kind of stuff comes through. On top of that, like just the fact that like I don't know, having like it's one of the things I talk to people about is like when people are trying to, I guess, market their art essentially, right? A lot of people create like a caricature right now because AI allows us to, and you're an actual person. And in my opinion, like people are much more entertained by seeing a real person, hearing stories like yours, like for example, like I mean that's a very interesting story and unexpected. Yeah, I mean with everything going on, it's like I mean pretty wild, honestly. You're I guess kind of lucky to be in business school right now at this time period. So it's a pretty wild situation. Well, awesome. I guess my other questions would be two different things. Number one is there a creator that you would recommend? Like, I don't know if you listen to other people on Suno. Some people really don't, which is okay. But if you have someone that you listen to on Suno that's not me and it's not you, that you would recommend, who would it be?
Um, okay. If not you, I would say I'm not sure, but I think you know this person.
Let's see.
So
Sonoa,
I
yes. I've seen
I
them a bunch
I
of times, yes. I don't know them, I haven't talked to them, but I see their stuff gets picked regularly on the front page, and they do a lot of
wow.
bossa nova. But yes, I know Sonoa, yes, for sure. Okay, so I'll include a link
Oh,
to their profile in the interview. But yeah, I agree, they have some cool stuff. Uh, and then the other thing I would say is, do you have any sort of like musical inspirations, I guess, outside of Suno, like that you kind of draw on, or any sort of like genres, etc. Um, like
It's very hard
favorites.
to say because like I'm kind of very open to different genres and I don't listen to just one specific genre. And if you check like my Spotify playlist, like just a big mess because I really love so like different
Oh, do
kind
you
of
have like a
genres.
Spotify playlist that's like people can like go
No,
through?
no, I'm
Is it
not
just
saying about
yours?
the
Okay. I have because we have some
yeah.
users who are deep into that and have like 2,000 whatever. So if you ever want to share a playlist, you're welcome to, and I'll share it with people. But also, people might you don't need that judgment. No, but awesome. Okay, so I think that's pretty dope. So basically, you moved here. You've been using Suno longer than me, or not here. You moved to the United States,
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, you've been using
I'm
it two
here.
years ago. I started using it about a year ago. So I mean, yes, you took a big break. Yes, of course, but still, that's pretty fortuitous. The luck some people have of coming across this stuff. There's another woman I spoke to, Francesca, who like I thought she had been doing these platforms the whole time. She's only on the other platform, and she just happened to cross it one time on a single Twitter post, and she ended up doing all this stuff related to it, and then winning a Webby award, which is crazy. And it's all just from like a tiny interaction that led to with these AI platforms, because people can just like generate stuff even if they don't do this stuff all the time, and all of a sudden, find some amount of, like followers or listeners, which I would say like even if you're not like doing this as like it's not like a career choice or something. It's just something that's entertaining. You still have people who are listening to your music, so it's kind of cool. I mean, to me,
It's
so
a lot of joy.
yeah. And especially some of your stuff that got on the, you got I would say a fair amount of traction on that stuff. So I think it's, I don't know, I'm looking forward to see the stuff that you put out, and yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you. I guess that's it. I have not done these interviews in so long. I'm just like restarting, so we'll just build up with that. But also send me a link to the. Actually, I know Sonoa, so I can find them. But send me a link to your favorite song of yours, and I'll feature it on there as well. And I'm going to pick my favorite song of your stuff, and I'll put it on there.
Oh, you mean favorite song of mine or
Yes, a
of the
favorite
other?
song of yours, and then Sonoa, I'll put a link to their profile for
Okay,
people to go to
sure.
them. All right, awesome. Well, thanks a bunch for talking to me, and I hope you have an awesome afternoon.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.